Hi guys, welcome to our next installment of the gentle yoga sessions. We have a lovely, relatively easy class for you this morning. So we start with our Qi Gong exercise, shaking the tree, just to get the lymphatic system moving, and then we come to the mat for some asana practice. So I hope you find it useful, and I'll see you on the mat. Thank you. So finding your feet, so putting all of our awareness into this contact point and get a real sense of the weight, the distribution. You can sway gently side to side. Knees can be soft, and just explore your feet. So we want a sense of rooting us down. So this exercise comes from a Qi Gong tradition. Wonderful. And we'll begin. So raising the forearms up, elbows are into the body, and wrists are relaxed, so letting the hands just flop. Fingers are gently curling in, so no tension in the hands or wrists. And we'll just take a moment here before we begin our bouncing. Feel this new posture, a sense of lightness up through the spine. And we'll begin our practice. So slowly starting the impulse. So bending the knees and straightening again, so they never come fully straight. And see if you can have a moment of dropping before you catch yourself. So there's a release downwards, let go of all the muscles. And we're slowly building the intensity. And we'll all have a different rhythm. So finding one that works for you. And really do let the wrists be floppy. Because let's all hold our hands, let's grip our hands like claws and just see what that does to your bounce. It really tightens you across the shoulders. And as soon as you let the wrists go, the head moves a bit more, the arms, the shoulders. And we're bouncing. So we'll do 5 minutes. You can vocalize if that feels good for you. And you can also make your heels a bit lighter, so the heels are bouncing slightly off the floor. See how this changes the posture. Have a play. Maybe that doesn't feel good for you. It's not working for me today, so I'm coming back heels down. So whenever I do this practice, I feel this smile creeping across my face. It's just like a lightness, an uplift of the cheeks, the corner of the mouth, around the eyes, even above the ears. There's this gentle tingle and upflow. So we have 2 more minutes. Obviously you can slow down or speed up. Keep reminding yourself, relax the wrists, relax the shoulders. What happens if you slow it down but make the movement bigger? Maybe the thighs start to burn. Maybe that's what happens. So the lady that taught us this, Caroline, she said her physician had taught her, and if everyone did this once a day, he'd have no patience. Which I feel is quite a good endorsement. Get everything moving, get the lymph draining. It's good for the urinary tract as well. And we're going to start to slow it down. So no sudden stops. However slowing it down looks like for you. So for me it's swaying side to side today. And we're going to drop the arms, but we're going to keep a gentle swing in the arms. Maybe swaying one foot to the other. And settling slowly into stillness. Keep a very small micro bend of the knees. And we're going to concentrate on feeling the entire column of the body, all the way from the feet to the crown of the head. Feel that vibrance, the aliveness, maybe the lightness. And again, I almost don't want to move. This feels so delicious. But we shall. So we're going to come to child's posture. So knees as wide as the mat, big toes touch, and sit back on your heels. So as you come down, you can take a wriggle through the hips, moving left and right. Until you feel ready to place the forehead to the mat. Arms are extended. And your buttocks are working towards sitting on the heels. They may not reach, mine don't reach. So you may want to take a cushion for a bit of extra support. So this should feel relatively relaxed. It can feel strong around the hips, but there should be no pain. Nothing sharp, nothing electric. And coming to the breath. Watching how the breath moves the body. Use the breath to explore the body you have today. So every day there's a new body. And we spend a bit of time becoming acquainted. And we're going to move. So walking the hands over to the right side until you feel the stretch all the way from the left little finger to the left hip crease. And we're breathing into the whole of the left side. So maybe you feel this in your tricep, armpit, the muscles of the ribs, so intercostal muscles. Maybe into the side waist. Breathe into this opening. One more inhale here. And then exhaling back through center over to the left side. Find the stretch all the way from the right little finger to the right hip crease. And one more deep inhale here, gently opening the right side of the body. And walking the hands back through center. We'll just take one inhale, exhale, reset your child's posture. And we inhale, floating up to tabletop. So hands under the shoulders, knees under the hips. We're just going to do our spine articulations here today. So making sure that middle fingers are pointing directly forward and the eyes of the elbows are facing each other. So rather than having them point forward, we're going to rotate the arms in to look at each other. And we're going to try and maintain this as we flow through our cow and cat. So inhaling, we drop the belly, drop the chest, gazing slightly forward, no jarring into the neck. And exhale, contract under the buttocks, up into the stomach, and round out your spine. And oscillate between these two, trying to complete the movement with the breath, and follow your breath. Keep an eye on these arms. They're going to want to misbehave and wibble all over the place. But see if you can isolate them. And we'll take one more of each. And then calming into a neutral spine. We're going to lean forward, inhale, tuck the toes. And we're walking the hands a little bit further back. And we're going to stretch the Achilles. So bringing the knees from the mat. And we're breathing here. And you're welcome to stay here, or if you want to come further, send the hips high as you exhale, and working towards a downward dog. You can keep the knees deeply bent here so long as the back is straight, or we're walking through the legs, bend one, then the other. And you're grounding down into the index and thumb knuckles, so you're pressing on the inside of each hand. This will lift you out of the wrists. Stop any bone-on-bone crunching. Wonderful. We're going to settle into stillness just for a couple of breaths, building our strength in downward dog. So over time we'll extend our periods here and we'll come in more often. Wonderful. And we're going to walk the feet up towards the top of the mat, coming into our forward fold, and we're going to sway. So you can have the knees bent, you can hold opposite elbows, you can straighten one leg then the other, and let the head be heavy. So the crown of the head is looking at the floor, and your gaze is between the legs, looking to the back of the room. Wonderful. Bringing the feet slightly closer together, we're going to bend the knees and take a roll up through the spine, coming to standing. And we're going to take a moment here, hands at heart center in prayer, just to let the blood pressure settle. Find the breath, find lift of the heart. So we'll take our Hatha sun salutation. We'll just do right and left to get the body warm, and we'll do a few postures on the ground. And we're ready to move. So we're inhaling, sweeping the arms. You can look up, lift the chest, and exhale to your forward fold. Maybe the knees are bent. Maybe they're straight. And now we're coming to our flat back. So either taking the hands to the knees or to the floor. We're going to inhale, lift the chest, really stick your bum out. So you want to feel these two muscles either side of the spine, pulling your spine up. And we're going to breathe here. And as we did the other day, we're going to lift our heart through as though there's a string on the heart space, drawing that front edge of the spine through, and you're going to roll your shoulders back, elbows into the body, and we're breathing here. Inhale, length of the spine. Exhale, there's a natural softening down. One more inhale here. And exhaling, release the torso and step back with your right leg. So taking the longest lunge you can find, and then it's right knee, shin, top of the foot down. If you want to float the torso up, please do. Otherwise, we're staying here. I'll just demonstrate this version. We're drawing the left hip back, the right hip forward. So we're squaring the hips. There's torsion in the pelvis. And we're breathing. So we're trying to drop the pelvis, the pubic bone, towards the left heel. That's the sensation of travel. Maintain those lovely, long, slow breaths. One more deep inhale. And exhaling, taking the left leg back to meet the right. So you have two options here. You can have the knees down or the knees off. It's up to you. I'll demonstrate knees down. We're going to take an inhale here. And we're going to exhale. Chest comes to the mat. And as we inhale, we're drawing our chest through to a baby back bend. So making sure the shoulders are back, elbows are into the body, and we're breathing here. Each inhale, find a bit more length of the spine, and you're not looking forward, you're looking down just in front of your mat. So this will keep the neck long. So almost a sensation of tucking the chin. One more inhale. And exhaling, we're coming back just to the tabletop. And we're going to step the right foot forwards this time. So lunging on the other side. And again, you can float up into the full expression of this posture, or you can stay here. So now right hip is drawing back, left hip is screwing forwards. And we're breathing for length of the spine, and exhaling, softening the pubic bone, moving towards that right heel. Then just notice, are you finding more opening in your pelvis today or less? So this isn't so we can judge ourselves or compete with ourselves, but it's just to keep us on track, that we know we're either making progress or that something we did yesterday or this morning is hindering our practice. So food and water and sleep, these can all have profound effects on how we experience the body. We'll take one more inhale here. And exhaling, we're stepping forward with the left foot, coming to our forward fold. Bend the knees deeply. And now we're going to try the flat back again with the fingertips to the floor. So you're going to need to bend your knees really deep. Inhale, lift the chest. See if you can feel those rods up the back. Really stick your bum out. One more inhale, and exhale, folding down, bend the knees deeply, and we're going to roll up gently through the spine. Hands to prayer at heart center. We'll just do the left side, and we're moving. Inhale, sweeping the arms, gazing up, and exhaling, you can bend the knees to your forward fold. Inhaling now, gentle, flat back, so you have the options, fingers to the floor, or hands to the knees. And we're breathing wherever you are, shoulders back, elbows into the body. One more inhale here. And we exhale, folding down, left leg back this time. So longest lunge you can find. And then take the left knee shin, top of the foot down. If you want to float up, please do. Otherwise, we're breathing here. So I can feel my pelvis is skew with. So draw your right hip back, left hip forward. You may notice you get a bit more stability. So even here, that sensation of the heart drawing forward, the front edge of the spine, you can use that to lengthen your spine. So let's try inhaling. The heart reaches forward. Look what that does to your neck and shoulders. One more of those. Wonderful. As we exhale, take the right leg back to meet the left. We're going to take our dip down, so either knees down or up. Exhaling now, bring your elbows into the body. Let them brush the ribs until you find the floor. Inhaling, drawing yourself through into your baby back bend. Maybe you're coming a touch higher. And we're going to take a look over the right shoulder. And then a look over the left shoulder. So there should be no pinching or strain here. We're just gently opening the body. One more inhale, draw that heart through. And exhaling back to tabletop. And now it's left foot forwards. Finding your lunge. So pelvis heavy. Left hip screw back, right hip forward. Square your pelvis. You can float the arms up if you wish. And now let's do that heart exercise. So the string on the front side of the spine, behind the sternum. And as you inhale, it draws through. And such a simple visualization can really change how the body reacts. One more of those. And exhaling, stepping forward to the forward fold. We're going to take the flat back. So inhale. Bend the knees, either fingertips to the floor or to the knees. Breathing deeply. Take another inhale, reach the heart forward. And exhaling to fold, bending deep. We're going to roll up through the spine. Coming to standing. We'll take a moment, hands at heart center in prayer. So let your body absorb those practices. And we're going to make our way down and we'll work for our hips and do some back work. And we're ready to go. Inhaling, sweeping the arms, gazing up, and exhale into forward fold. Inhale into your flat back now, whatever that looks like. And you just walk the feet back to high plank. Hold the high plank. Take another breath here for length of the spine. And exhaling, lower down, elbows into the body, to your tummy. Drawing the chest through, inhale. And exhale back to your tabletop. So we're going to bring the right foot forwards again. So find the lunge we were just in. And we're going to do our hip openers. So leaning into the left hand more fully. We're going to turn the right toes out to 2 o'clock. Right hand on the inside of the thigh, and we're going to guide that knee to the right side. So you're going to come up onto the blade edge of the right foot, flex the toes towards you, and we're breathing here. So we're just working on opening the hips. If you're really open, you can come down onto the left forearm, maybe onto both forearms. It's up to you. And find your sweet spot. Wonderful. So lifting back up onto both hands now. We're going to turn the right toes back to the front of the room and bring the right knee into the shoulder. So we're not coming into lizard, we're coming into our twist. So you can either keep the back knee down or come up, lift the back knee and straighten the leg. Pressing into the left hand, we're going to inhale, sweep the right arm open. So coming into our low lunge twist. And with each exhale, see if you can open the chest a bit more, so that natural softening of the body. We want to see if we can show our heart to the ceiling. Imagine that string again. See what this does to your spine. One more deep inhale, exhale, open the chest. And then hands to the mat either side of the front foot. So we're going to do our hamstring work here. So pushing back with the pelvis. Keep the right foot roughly where it is. And then we're coming onto the right heel. So the right heel hasn't really moved. You may have to shift because you want your left hip directly above the left knee. And you can be up here. This is no problem. You can be with your hands to the floor or to cushions or to blocks. And we're breathing. Flex the right toes back towards you strongly. One more inhale, and then we let the head go. So the head is traveling to the floor in between what would be the legs if they're both out straight. So you may be fairly upright, you may have your head on the floor. We all have different bodies. So just honoring where we're at. Just let the neck go. I was holding my neck then. Let the head be heavy. One more deep inhale, exhale. And then we're pushing forward onto the right foot and we're switching the legs. So right leg back, left leg forwards. We're going to turn the toes of the left foot out now to 10 o'clock. Left hand is on the thigh, and then we're guiding that thigh open so it will tip you up onto the blade edge of your left foot. Flex the toes towards the knee, and then you move your torso around. So when you move, you'll see you can deepen the stretch or ease the stretch. You can also move it slightly into the muscle or away. So it's up to you what works for you. And if you're open enough, you can come down onto the right forearm, maybe also the left forearm. It's up to you. So just want to open this morning. Wonderful, lifting back up onto the hands. So turning the left toes directly back to the front of the mat again. Leaning into the right palm. You can bring the right knee, off of the floor, straighten the right leg. So pressing through the heel and feel you're reaching from the heel to the crown of the head, and then we're twisting. So the left arm is reaching up to the sky and we're trying to show our heart to the ceiling. So left shoulder blade goes down the back. See if you can move it down the rib cage. And breathing here, inhale, length heel to crown of the head, and exhale, see if you can feel that string on the heart, drawing it open to the ceiling. So sometimes you can find greater freedom in movement from a simple visualization. Two more breaths here. One more. Wonderful. Taking the hand back to the mat. Left knee goes back to meet the right. And we're going to take a moment in our child's posture. So knees as wide as the mat, big toes touch. And ease back into those hips. You can wiggle your bum left and right, coming down. Notice any difference between the first child's posture of today and this one. Maybe there's greater freedom. Wonderful. We're going to go back slightly. I'm going to put in another posture. My body's feeling like it needs it, so maybe you guys too. So inhaling, floating up onto our tabletop. So we're going to take our twist, getting into these shoulder blades. I think the class I did last night, I'm still feeling it, so I'm going to take you with me. So pressing down more firmly in the left hand. We're going to inhale, sweep the right arm open. Exhaling, the right arm comes under the body, threading the needle. Land on your right shoulder. And now, with each exhale, rolling a bit more onto that right shoulder, stretching the rhomboids, all the muscles around the shoulder blade. If you need a bit more space for the pelvis, straighten your left leg. And if you want to challenge yourself, maybe the left leg floats up in the air. If you've got a floating leg, really flex the foot. It will give you extra strength all the way from the heel to the buttock. I definitely needed this morning. Wonderful. If you have a floating limb, bringing it down as you exhale. And then all of us together, press into the left palm, inhaling, uncurl, right arm back to the sky, and then placing it on the mat. So pressing into the right palm, coming to the left side. Inhale, left arm sweeps you open, and exhale, brushing the back of the arm along the floor. Come to land on your left shoulder and the head. And we're using the right hand to push us more onto that left shoulder, stretching around the shoulder blade. If you want to come deeper, you can float the right leg, have a play. You may surprise yourself. Wonderful. If you have a floating limb, exhaling it back to the mat, and then all together, inhaling, uncurl, and exhaling to tabletop. We'll take an inhale here, and we're going to exhale, lower the chest down to the mat. Inhale, drawing yourself through, just a gentle back bend. And then we're extending our right arm out, and we're rolling over onto our backs. So before we do our lying down postures, we're going to take either a happy baby or you hug the knees in. So you can hold onto the knees, you can hold behind the knees, you can hold the shins or the ankles, or if you can reach, you can hold the big toes. We just want to make sure the whole of the lower back is in contact with the mat. Wonderful. So we're just going to do the bridge posture, and then we'll come to our seated forward folds. So warm up the back and then ease out the back. So we're going to place the soles of the feet to the floor, heels as close to the buttocks as you can bring them. Palms of the hands are beside the buttocks, palms are down. And the instruction for this is just look at the ceiling, so don't look left or right at your screens. Just listen for the instruction, because your neck is in a vulnerable position as you start lifting. So just look up. And we're going to roll our pelvis towards us as we inhale and peel up one vertebra at a time until we get to the top of the bridge and the top of the breath. And you can walk your shoulders under the body. You could also raise your arms above the head and lay them on the floor. So these are just different options. Maybe have an experiment, see how you feel. And we're breathing here. So we're trying to push the sternum towards the face. So really lifting up, whole of the back line working. And see if you can draw your knees towards the direction of the toes. So moving the knees to the bottom of the mat, and this will help you engage the hamstrings. Take some of the pressure out of the buttocks, and it may allow you to lift a touch higher. So we've got 2 more breaths here. Lift the pelvis. One more inhale for lift of the pelvis, and then being quite precise as we exhale, we roll down one vertebra at a time until the pelvis lands. We'll just hug the knees in, Give them a squeeze, ease out the lower back. And then we're going to take a little bit of a rock and roll. So rolling up and down. So this is easier through a rounded back. So if you have a flat back here, you're going to lunk onto the floor. Wonderful. And the next time we come up, we're staying up. So shift your buttocks back and find your staff posture. So legs are long, feet are together, and fingertips are beside the buttocks. So I'm going to face this way today so you can see the progression of the postures. You could have a strap handy if this is useful. We are going to hinge forward from the waist in a moment. But firstly, we're sitting tall. So energy through the legs. If you can't have the legs straight, if it's making you round your back, bend the knees and you should be able to find your spine then rises out of the pelvis. You can also take a little cushion or something under your bum to give you a bit of lift. And we're breathing here. So notice if you're gripping in the hip flexors, so this can be quite sore or quite strong in the hip flexors if they're what's holding you up. So if you bring in Mula Bandha and Uddiyana Bandha, so pelvic floor and lower belly, and it's just a 30% lift in and up, look what happens to the hip flexors. You're able to actually let them go. You've got other muscles that are helping you out. And the bandhas may drop in and out, but just have a play. See if it allows for greater freedom of the body. One more inhale here. And now as we exhale, we're walking the hands forward, maybe down the legs, and we want to hinge forward from the waist, keeping the back straight. So if the back rounds, stop and go back a bit. So you may only hinge forward an inch, you may hinge forward a foot. It's up to you. So trying to keep the integrity of the spine and the pelvis. And we're breathing there. You can have the fingertips besides the knees, the calves. You could hold the big toes if you can still maintain a straight back. And now we're going to work that heartstring. So that inhale draws the front edge of the spine through. See what this does to the backs of the legs and the back. Breathing here. Each inhale, draw your heart through. Shoulder blades down the back. We'll take one more deep inhale here. Really shine that heart. And now as we exhale, just let the head fall towards the legs. So wherever your head is, we're not pulling down. Let's turn the backs of our hands to the floor. So let the palms face up. So then there's no risk of us jarring our bodies downwards. And we're going to breathe into this posture. So we inhale, the torso will lift. And as you exhale, let the body soften. And see, does it soften another inch, half a centimeter, a millimeter? So we're breathing into our bodies, breathing into the posture. And even if you're sat fairly upright with just the head hanging over, that's great. That's your posture. So we could grab our feet or our legs and really pull ourselves down, but it's too aggressive. We want a gentler approach. Everything in its own time. One more breath here. And we're going to walk the hands back towards us, calming to sit upright. So we're going to do our quad opening now. So we're going to bend the right leg back and place the heel relatively close to the buttocks, and the right knee is going to reach out to the side. So we're going to keep the left leg straight for this today, and we're going to lean back onto the hands. So we're working ourselves towards being able to do the hero posture. So you may be able to rest back on your elbows here. You may be really high up. So I've just surprised myself that I could find my elbows today. And notice any sensations through the body, maybe through the mind. And we're breathing here. So if there's any pain in the lower back, you may have come down too far, you can lift yourselves back up. So we just want to feel the quads opening. One more deep inhale. And we roll over towards the left side and release the right leg forward. Give the legs a bit of a shake, and we're going to sit for a moment here. So just sit up tall with the fingertips down, close the eyes. Doesn't matter really where the legs are. And just feel the sensations, the difference right and left. The contact points, the length, weight, pressure of each leg. And we'll come for the left. So leaning onto the right hand, bend your left heel into the buttock. And breathe here and see, can you reach back onto the elbows? Are you quite high? Some of you may be able to just lie down on the floor. And again, there should be no sharp sensations or strong sensations around the bones of the spine and the top of the left hip. If it feels like it's crunching, then lifting yourself up. Two more breaths here. Wonderful. And rolling over to the right side, release the left leg out. Sitting up just for a moment. Relax the legs. And we'll just do a quick glute opener before we come to our meditation. So now bending the right leg up, take the foot over the left, and we're holding onto that right knee at the top of the shin, and we're lifting tall. So we won't do the twist, we'll just do these first two sections. Shoulders back, find that heartstring lifting up. If you want to come deeper, this may be enough for you, or if you want to come deeper, drawing the forehead towards that right knee. So maybe the forehead meets the knee, maybe you're just nodding forward a touch. Wonderful. We'll inhale to straighten up and release the right leg back to the mat. Crossing the left foot over the right. And again, drawing the left knee into the chest. Spine is nice and tall, so you should feel this around the left glutes. Breathing here. And you're welcome to stay, or you can drop the forehead towards the knee. Wonderful. We'll release that left leg. Give the legs a bit of a shake. And we're going to roll onto the right hip to make our way to our comfortable meditation posture, whatever that looks like for you. So finding your comfortable meditation posture, whether that's cross-legged or kneeling. Feel for a sense of lift up through the body. Spine is tall. And we draw our hands to our heart, either in prayer mudra or one hand on the heart, the other hand on top. And we can dedicate our practice, so drawing to mind anyone you know who's struggling with the restrictions we're under, or just for people in general. It's always good to give away the benefit of your practice. And we bow that out and say thank you for our practice today, and hopefully see you soon.